Okay, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Everybody want to stand for the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Kate Devlin present.
Sharon Spears present.
Tina Lear present.
Craig Conyer present.
And Tina's not on Zoom yet, so. There's Tina. Tina, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Tina? We can't hear you.
Yeah, she's still reading.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We just did roll call. So you want to say your
Present. Via Zoom.
Okay, and I have a motion to approve the minutes for May 1st, 2025 meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the 5-1 meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys have to do that by roll call, so you have to say Craig Conyer, aye. Their aye. So it's just like the same exact.
Because Tina's not. Way to go, Tina.
Hi, guys.
The president will do the roll call for that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go back to all in favor.
Katie Duncan, aye.
Sharon Spears, aye.
Tina Lear, aye.
Craig Conyer, aye.
Tina Pennington, aye.
Okay, we're here tonight for the docket BZA 25-002-DB-variance. Petitioner is requesting approval of a variance to reduce the minimum ground floor living area for single-family homes in the Darlington Villa subdivision. The subject property is on medium-density residential R2, contains 47 acres, and is located at approximately 6170 South Darlington Road. The petitioner is Arbor Homes, and the owner is New Residential Development LLC. Okay, I'll open a public meeting. Does anybody have, Debbie, is there anything you want to say in the public meeting?
I'm happy to go over the staff report if you like.
That way everybody will understand.
Sure. So the proposed development, the developer has received approval for a subdivision with 199 single-family lots. The requested variance is to allow a variety of housing products that are 2 and 3 stories in height, similar to a townhome design. The product variety is intended to keep the homes as affordable as possible while still meeting the requirements of the Unified Development Ordinance. The staff report does show the approved layout of the subdivision. The proposed housing units will still meet the overall home size requirements of the UDO, and samples of the products they're contemplating are shown in the staff report. These home units range from 1,159 square feet to 1,932 square feet. All are 2 to 3 bedroom with 2 bathrooms. Standards for evaluating the variances. Per the UDO, the following 3 criteria must all be met before the BZA can grant a dimensional variance. The applicant's responses to the criteria are as follows. Number 1, the approval of the variance will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The response is that the homes would be constructed as a result of this variance approval would be built to the latest construction and fire standards and would meet the already approved setback requirements for the neighborhood. Approval of the variance would not result in development that would be injurious to the general welfare of the community. Criteria number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. Their response is that the adjacent uses include single-family homes that have similar square footages. The housing that will be provided will be quality housing that will benefit the surrounding properties. Further, the other adjacent properties are currently used as agricultural ground. Residential development that is being proposed is compatible land use and intensity. Allowing this variance would not have a significant adverse effect on adjacent uses or values. And third criteria, the strict application of the terms of the ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Their response is that the strict application of the zoning ordinance creates a practical difficulty in developing a single-family subdivision as proposed within the R2 district and restricts the type of home that can be constructed within the district. The ability to have a smaller ground floor square footage allows the homes built to have desired features like an attached 2-car garage while still remaining a detached single-family home product. Allowing, I haven't talked this much today. Allowing a smaller ground floor living area footprint allows for creativity in design and homes to grow square footage through vertical means. The results in homes that have ample and similar living area square footage while providing flexibility to build on these lots. The strict application presents a practical difficulty in the use of the property as it does not encourage a diversity of housing types, thus restricting the use to a monotonous building form within the district. Further, it can hinder overall living area size or reduction in desired home features like attached garages. This variance would allow the builder to offer even more attractive home styles and elevations to its home offerings. Staff recommends that the BZA approves the dimensional variance to reduce the ground floor living area as requested with the following conditions. Number 1, 2-story homes shall have a total living area of at least 1,100 square feet, and 3-story homes shall have a total living area of at least 1,900 square feet. And 2, the variance shall not apply to more than 50% of the lots in the subdivision, which is 100 lots.
Has anybody got any comments here? Anybody have any comments out of the audience?
I'm the petitioner, I can do a presentation.
Okay, if you'd like, go ahead.
Is it fine if I
Yeah.
voting?
That's what it's for.
Okay, gotcha. I do have a PowerPoint I can share to the Zoom meeting. That would be helpful. One moment. Oh, maybe not, so sharing is not turned on.
So she'll turn it on in a second.
Oh, gotcha. I do have also have printed copies. If
I haven't done generally, I guess I haven't done, you guys did.
Trying to restrict it.
All right, Josh, come over here.
You mind me clearing these out? Should they printouts?
Okay, now try it.
Please want to state your name and your when you start your choice. Please.
Good evening. My name is Dominic Dreyer. I'm with Arbor Homes. Our business address, if you need it, is 9225 Harrison Park Court, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46216. Obviously, I'm with petitioner Arbor Homes requesting this additional variance. Not that it's necessarily relevant to the actual variance, but I always do like to tell you guys a little bit about Arbor Homes. We are a Indianapolis-based home developer. We've been in the market for 30 years. We've been developing in Indianapolis and surrounding areas for that entire time. We are a little different. We are a production builder, but we are a little different in the way that we build for our customers, in that we don't do a lot of specs like other builders. When we plan out a neighborhood, usually we have a model there and maybe a few models. Customers come to us. They get to choose their lot. They get to choose the home that they put on that lot from our floor plans. I'll go over those here in a little. And then they get to come to our design center, which is about 4,000 square foot state-of-the-art design center where we've got front facade built in there, whole kitchen. It's the fun part of building a home where you get to go pick out, what floors, countertops, their exterior materials, change colors, all look like. So it's a really cool area. Specifically for this request, we are, as Deborah mentioned, requesting a variance from the minimum ground floor area. We are requesting a 550 square foot minimum ground floor area for 2-story homes, a 400 square foot ground floor area for 3-story homes. As noted in the staff report, the subject site is listed here on the aerial view in blue, outlined in blue. It's about 47 acres. It's already a platted subdivision. We would just be coming in as the home builder. Here's I believe this was from the primary plat, filing the kind of the proposed layout that was approved in that plat. It is a 199 lot development. It does allow for 50-foot wide lot minimums. They're looking at the plat. There are larger lots through and throughout the development. Arbor Homes, this is our Arbor series of homes, which we will be offering in the neighborhood. This one would not need the variance request. This is our bread and butter. It's what our company is named after. We have 12 floor plans under this series, 5 different facade elevations. So you could get, it always amazes me when I go see our models or drive through our communities. The Chestnut, for instance, is one of our models. I'll look at one and then see it down the road. Again, I want to be able to recognize it with just based on that different front elevation until you're inside the home and see that the floor plan is, the kitchen's in the same spot, stuff like that. These are all ranch and 2-story homes. They live anywhere from 1,200 to 3,200 square feet. We have options of sunrooms, 3-car garages, all of those things that our buyers get to choose from. Here's an example of some renderings of those homes. Probably more pertinent for tonight's discussion, this is our Arrival series of homes that we would also like to offer in the Darlington Villas subdivision. This is our newest line of homes. We're very excited about it. We're bringing this to communities in Indianapolis and Columbus and Kokomo, and we've got Martinsville. Hannah Farms is a development that is featuring these, and we've received great feedback on these homes. We have 5 floor plans. These elevation, they also have multiple elevations for each of those floor plans. They're all 2- and 3-story homes. They live anywhere from 1,150 square feet to just under 2,000 square feet. And they all have a ground floor area between 400 and 560 square feet. And that has to deal with, so they all have the same footprint, the same foundation, poured slab, which helps in the building efficiency of these homes, allows us to bring down the price. But it's just how that first floor is is finished. So in one, for one of our floor plans, we put the kitchen on the second floor, first floor. For that one, that's where that ground floor area goes down because we have a large, it's actually a really nice storage room where we can put some of the utilities. So I think based off of zoning ordinance here, that would not count as finished floor area. So that's why we also have that exception for that one plan to go down to 400. But all the other ones are just about 520 or 560 square feet on the first floor. As was mentioned in the staff report, the townhome is what these are akin to or what people compare them to. But I think what's great about these are still they're detached. You're not sharing walls with anybody. You get your own private garage, 2-car garage on all of these homes. Get walls, you get your individual yard. On a 50-foot wide lot, these homes would have a nice attractive yard that the future residents would be able to utilize. Here's some other renderings of other elevations. And these aren't comprehensive, these are just one from each floor plan essentially. That's kind of what was detailed in the staff report, so I won't harp on it too long. But all these homes are built to the latest building fire codes. They meet all the other zoning requirements required here, including the roof setback requirements. This is already a platted subdivision, so residential, these are some family homes. They fit well within the subdivision that as it's currently proposed, as well as the surrounding homes and agricultural land. Talking about the practical difficulty, allowing this variance would allow us to essentially bring in 17 floor plans instead of limiting it to just Arbor series, would allow us to make a very diverse subdivision. Subdivision. We think it would be a great addition to Jamestown. Yeah, that's kind of the. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Yes.
Now, all these homes, when you build them, are they all gonna look the same on the same block? Or are you gonna have a little mixture there?
So I don't believe with the Darlington Villas subdivision plat there was an anti-monotony rule, but we self-impose one, so we don't build the same house next to the same one. They all have to have different colors. They have to have different, at least a different front facade elevation between homes and across the street. So I think that with the addition of us also offering the Arbor series, I think this would be a very for non-monotonous streetscape as you're driving.
Well, I know Brownsburg, they're building a lot of homes there now, and a lot of them are pretty much the same across the street or next to each other and stuff like that. I don't know if that's gonna be the same here or what.
I mean, obviously I can't speak.
Or is there a choice?
we like to let our, like I said, we aren't a spec builder, so we're not gonna go out there and build out this community for future buyers, right? So we do allow them to choose a lot, but we do internally because we want to have a great looking neighborhood. Like I said, we won't let you build the same home right next to each other or the same color. And then also with this development, as I mentioned, we'll have Arbor in there as well as these. So I think it's going to look like very attractive, very honest.
Or is that gonna be HOA?
I believe there will be an HOA. That's
That's the only way you control things around here.
Sure. Yeah, and we always build out the HOA. I'm not sure if that's on the other side or will be ours, but there will be an HOA.
And with a 2 and 3 stories, is the main floor, do you have any bedrooms or bathrooms?
So let's see. It's not great images of an example. This is the Gladstone, for instance, is, this is the one floor plan that has the storage area on the first floor. So this one, we think of it as kind of like a, kind of a basement on the first floor. So for this one, you get this, it says unfinished here, but to meet the requirement here, it would have to be finished.
Have a half bath or something.
Yep, there's a half bathroom, you can enter in all these. This one, if you wanted it to put a bedroom down here, you can certainly finish that out as a bedroom. The other floor plans are all, yeah, they will essentially look like this. This is just for the Arrival series. The Arbor, they are much different floor plans. For the Arrival, which deals with this variance, they all have a kitchen on the first floor and a great room, dining room. They'll have a bathroom and a half bath down there. So, speaking to it, we also, I know it's two bathrooms, technically it's 2.5. You can add a third bathroom on certain ones where if you choose a 3-story for a certain other floor plan, you can build out a bedroom and bathroom up there. So it could go to 3 to 4 bedroom, or 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 3.5 baths. So still, I don't know if that answers your question.
How soon can you start on this project?
Developer is scheduled next week to the week after start removing the trees that we removed.
Things start working around.
And then they're hoping by mid-August to start putting all the infrastructure. We just had our pre-construction meeting on Tuesday.
Sorry, better fit to answer the development questions.
The ones that are on their side of the fence, they will remove those. On your property, yes, well, that, along that fence line, whatever on their side of the fence, they are allowed to remove. And some of that they have to because there's utilities that run along the back there, the drainage, the water, the sewer. And then there's the ponds that are being built on the north side and along that south side right there. It goes all the way across there, so there's nothing that butts up to any of those properties or other than the ponds.
Well, that pond's pretty much straight behind us.
Right. So, but anything that's on that side of the fence, yes. Anything that's on your side of the fence, no.
So,
the fence on the north side, right there.
Your guys would be that west side fence right there. And then along that north side, yes, where that pond is going, anything that's in there, that's on their side of the fence or technically hanging over, they can trim up some, but they cannot remove any trees.
Have any, just gonna be their green space to us.
Basically, I mean, you have a pond view and all that. I mean, if you want shrubbery back there on your side of the property, you're allowed to plant it. We gave them a 40-foot setback that they have to be before they can do anything. So they couldn't build a house or anything like that next to any of your guys' property. So that's the reason why the ponds are there and stuff like that, and the utility easement. So, and then there's a road, like on your guys'
I
side.
don't know if there was gonna be any burn or something.
No, there's nothing.
There.
I don't remember 100%. I don't want to say that it is. It's been a while since we approved that. But I do know there's a walking path that goes around from the ponds.
Right.
I do know there's a paved path, but most of that is utility easement going through there behind yours, so that I have to have access for the sewer and everything like that to run through there. So
The ponds will answer the situation of
the drainage.
water.
Yes, correct. So Boone County's got one of the most stringent drainage plans there is. So most counties is 100-year flood that they have to hold back. Boone County's is back to back, so they basically double the size of what it needs to be. So if we're retaining it,
It said, will it catch whatever the
So,
pond doesn't
basically,
catch?
yes. So the North Pond will catch everything that runs down that swell between in your guys' back.
Okay.
So that will slow all that water. And then it's got a new outlet that'll go down and goes down Maple Street's easement all the way down to Ash Street where the creek actually begins above ground. So it will divert everything out. So it's made to retain the water and slowly let it out. So it will slow down the water coming to town.
Has the price changed in the houses?
The price change? They would probably have a difference just based off of, size essentially. So, the Arbor homes were, I mean, these are preliminary average sales prices. We think probably 275-ish. Arrival would be 225, 250 probably. But yeah, so I would think Arrival would be that low to mid 200s. Arbor would be 250 to 300 plus for something in there.
Else got any questions? Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, it's going to be 10 feet apart?
Yeah, that we would.
So you're shrinking, how are you going to shrink that and be 10 feet apart? You're shrinking the footprint, but the house is still going to be 10 feet apart, so you're
Well,
shrinking the lot size?
Sorry, they would have potentially more space if it was a larger lot than 50. So the building pad for an Arrival is about 30 foot wide. So yeah, they would be further away from the neighborhood, which I think is.
Yes.
How about putting another road in from 75 to Darling?
What's that?
That's the town that's working on that. Yes.
And also, it's going to, you said that all this is going to, how it's going to, in your statement you read, it said it's going to be benefiting the community. How is it going to benefit me?
Well, our view of it is, we bring in future residents, which adds to tax revenue, commercial activity, provides for people who want to grow and stay in families in Jamestown, the ability for you, or children, parents.
Like a lot of small towns, they're trying to pour it into a funnel. The infrastructure is not ready for 300 homes, 200 homes back there, with a little road that you can't pass another car on without hitting the mailbox on the side. So that's not your problem. I understand that.
Well, I mean, this is an approved platted subdivision, so, I mean, whether.
Well, sure, it's an open field. It's proved out there, but getting there is going to be the issue.
Sure, and I'm not sure what all the development, if there was infrastructure requirements to, once this starts getting developed, to improve the roads out there. I'm assuming along the front edge there'll be some improvements, but again, we're not the developer on this one, so.
Well, my first thought, one thing is, when I read it and talking about shrinking the footprint down, my first thought was, okay, they want to add another 15 homes to this block.
That will not happen.
They cannot adjust the size of lots. It's already done, been approved as plotted, so therefore they can't change that. They can't, the only way they can change anything, if they came back and applied for a variance or change what it was zoned. which
Well, I
that's
thought
not-
the first variance meeting, the guy come here and rant and rave about, oh, who's going to be paying for this? And they were accusing the town, who's going to pay for it? And boom, but grant their variance like that. So I'm assuming this is order to go, no matter what we say. So that's understandable. Money talks.
Anybody else got any questions?
The water source, where's it coming from for these homes?
The town,
Okay. Just as a-
no, they're not wells. It's all town water, sewer, and electric.
Anybody else? Okay, is Western Maine ready for all these families?
They need
Yeah. Actually, attendance has actually went down in Western.
That's a lot of homes, though, a lot of kids.
Mr. Ramey's had discussions, and they are so far under, they don't have enough for some of the classrooms. It's because everybody that lives around here quit having kids. Basically, that's what it is. I mean, that they have one, maybe two kids anymore.
One's older.
We've already had, been there, done that.
So one more thing, I know earlier the price range, now it fluctuated because everything went crazy, but what's the price range on these homes? Because, I know, personally, me, I moved from a two-story home. I don't want to have my kitchen and everything on. I'm walking into the basement, so I'm going to go up 3 flights to my bedroom. That's the, the older people, I hope the young folks can afford these homes. That's what's
Well,
gonna have to buy them.
yeah, I'll speak a little to that. So again, that will be anticipated average sales price for the arrival series. So there will be ranges in this neighborhood. There will be just a regular two-story home, with a kitchen on the first floor. But specifically the arrival, which is what the variance is for. We would think that average sales price is probably, like I said, 225 to 250. That's the average. So depending on bigger ones a little bit more, the smaller ones a little less. Get different finishes in there. Obviously, that affects it. For the Arbor series, which are those traditional single family that you probably see in our neighborhoods around. 275 is the average sales price. It could go more than 300 depending on the car park, just what lane, but 275 is what I'm thinking there, what we mentioned from our internal sales structures.
I know I got here late and I apologize if it's already been discussed, but I was just wondering, is the only access to this place going to be on Darlington Avenue?
So as it's been platted, the only immediate access, it does appear to, there are two accesses on Darlington. I know there are stub streets, so if there was ever future developments, there would be access there. I'm not sure about the road.
The town is in the midst of looking at extending international all the way over and it basically be right around one of their entrances until we can, so get across the street thing so that they can go straight out to 75.
And I don't know if this helps for anybody talking about.
Not for the construction, because it takes time to get the money for it.
Yeah, well,
We're
that's
in the planning stage.
3 years away.
We're in the planning stage and all that, so.
Planning
Road. Yes, we're in the planning stage of that right now.
But Josh, didn't you say that was 2 to 3 years, possibly 4 years away?
Right now, the way the money works for that, the county already had it in their plans for it, because part of it's in the county. So basically, yes, you're looking at around 2 years before it is there. And by standards of Arbor's contract, they're only looking at a minimum of 36 homes a year. They could be faster.
Right,
But that is just it. So, I mean, things can only move so fast and we're trying to make it work and all that stuff. We're in the midst of planning. We still got to talk to Mr. Purdy about if he's agreeable to, he was agreeable to one going in. We just got to make sure land wise and all that stuff that he's agreeable to.
That was going to be my point. We can't, if we had the shovel to go out there today, we want to be able to put 200 homes in the ground right away. It's a multi-year build out on this. So I don't know if that helps. He goes mind, but whether you're talking about traffic or schools or that, it would be a multi-year build out.
How many years are you thinking?
I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, when it probably starts till next year. To actually build homes. Land development would start before then, probably for early next year. I'm not sure what they're projecting for that. But 200, I'd say maybe we're doing 35 a year, whatever. That's 4 or 5 years.
Well, I guess my point is Darlington's kind of a narrow street. You're talking about 200 cars in the morning, 200 cars in the evening.
They have to widen where the new pavement stops. There's also been, I made sure that there was enough easement there, so if a turn lane ever needed to be added, to help with traffic there, it would be, we have to. As far as in town, well, it's all in town, but where the pavement is, that is wide enough for 2 cars to go down and pass each other.
East is by my house,
It stops before your house.
right before my house.
Yes. Right at your beginning of your south property line is where the town stops and it goes around you.
Okay,
So
and the retention pond is on,
the retention pond is where the last house is, that is out there currently. It's just on the north side of it.
there's gonna be how many retention ponds?
2.
kind of see on the screen, it's right on. Look at that here.
I don't know if this is your question, but, how, if it's gonna be 2 or 3 years before that road's built to go there, how are they gonna get the construction equipment?
Straight down Darlington, they'll have to go down Main Street, and turn just like any other semi that goes out that way.
Can do that?
Yep.
Can handle that?
We have the grain that goes up and down that road and farm equipment is just as heavy as anything that's gonna go down there. Matter of fact, Mr. Lewis's house went down through there. So,
All right. Okay. Okay. I'll trust it. What do you say? Yours too? All right.
Anybody got anything else?
You might want to buy a house?
Has there any thought been given to maybe providing access out on 136 or straight east out to 75?
I'm probably not the person to.
that is where International is, the one that runs right next to the factory would come across and kind of,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
it'll actually have 90s in it, so that it's not a straight throwaway for people to drag race down, but. So that's one of the things me and Mr. Purdy had discussed before about that. And it does not go straight to the curb that's in front of Mrs. Hoskins' house. It actually will be south towards one of the straight entrances, so that way it's not pushing traffic around her house or anything else. So therefore, we're trying to keep it to where it minimizes anybody that's outside of town.
Across the factory, okay with all that?
They don't care. They are actually kind of excited to see some of the houses come in so that they can try to.
For workers?
Yep.
Any more questions?
I guess, I have one more question. I saw the paperwork that came, said something like 500, maybe a little over 500 square feet of ground floor for a 2-story, 400 square feet for a 4-story or a 3-story, right?
Correct. Yeah, so that's what the variance.
400 square feet is 20 by 20. That's a pretty small house.
That's how they get the price point down, is by saving on the floor, on the concrete, the foot on the floor. So that's how they can get it down a little cheaper, because they're saving the material that way.
As I mentioned,
And but going higher, there's still same square footage overall, what that was, 1,170 something square feet, I believe.
That's the smallest, yes, yeah.
And then
So
it goes up to 1,900. So it's the same, it's a young people's house. It's not just old people that have any problems.
I couldn't count the garage.
Yeah, the garage is, the garage is bottom floor.
yeah, the garage is included in that square footage, so you're.
20,
That's not,
24
we're just asking 500, 400 and 500 square feet of livable area. So that being, on most of the floor plans, it's a kitchen, a living room, and then a dining room in a back, half bath. On the one floor plan, it's a large open area that uses a kid's playroom or office or something like that, media room. But
Anything else?
thanks.
Tina, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. I'll close the public meeting at 6:39.
I make a motion that the BZA approve the dimensional variance to reduce the ground floor living area as requested with two conditions. One, two-story homes shall have a total living area of at least 1,100 square feet. Three-story homes shall have a total living area of at least 1,900 square feet. And two, the variance shall not apply to more than 50% of the lots in subdivision, which would be 100.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Katie Duncan, aye.
Sharon Spears, aye. Tina Blair, aye.
Craig Conner, aye.
Tina Pennington, I.
Take care of that. Do we have any new business for the floor? Anybody got any announcements? That's on.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. I'll second. All in favor?
Katie Duncan.
Sharon Spears, aye. Tina Blair, aye.
Craig Conner.
Tina Pennington, I.
Thank you, everybody.
Would you make sure you sign it?
Back.
Yeah.